Well, hello everybody. It's Brennan White here, and it is a beautiful day here in Indian Rocks Beach, Florida, USA. If you guys are not subscribed to me, be sure to subscribe, and if you like, it's also optional to hit the notification bell in case you don't want to miss any of my new videos. As you can see, it's a nice day on Seagull Creek. Excuse me. As you can see, it's a nice day on Seagull Creek, and we are going to watch the sunset over the Gulf of Mexico later today. But I just wanted to do a video walking and talking and telling you all about me and my life. Hi guys, hello. It is me, your friend Brennan White, and this is my YouTube channel, Bigfoot Squad BWPP. Right now it's only 76 degrees Fahrenheit in Florida, which most of you northern folks will be pretty warm, but to me I might need a light jacket. I'm fine. I'm used to hot Florida weather. This is for Florida's just a normal mild day. But I normally go out on hot days, and Florida gets pretty hot. Just the same as saying the Arctic can get pretty cold, it's easier to say Florida can get hot. Now, there's my palm tree. Here in Indian Rocks Beach, Florida, I live here, and I spend most of my time here. But that hasn't been the case. I was born in the city of Hilo, in the Hilo Bay, Hawaii area, in Hilo Bay, Hawaii, where I was raised and grew up for a few years. But as I got older, into my early teenage years, I began to move to Florida with my family. I spent a lot of time here, and during the time I lived in Hawaii, I would often stay here for 2 months at a time with other family. And sometimes I'd go to London, Ohio, not London, England, London, Ohio, another one of the US states. And yeah, I went to school in London, Ohio, but now I'm homeschooled. It's very nice living here in Indian Rocks Beach, Florida. I like the warm weather. Reminds me of Hawaii. Ohio is probably the coldest place I've ever lived in, but I've been to Iceland during the winter to go to some lagoon pools, and it was very cold there. I am 14 years old. I was born October 12, 2005. So this year, 2020, on October 12th, I'm going to turn 15 years old. I like living here on the beach in Indian Rocks Beach, Florida. It's really great, nice warm climate. My palm tree, you've got microclimates. There's mountains up higher where you actually do get snow up there. And a lot of times I bring snow down from the mountain to make silly videos where I tell people we got snow. I am a big prankster and also known for my daredevil stunts. And boy or girl, I do a lot of stunts. One of my favorite stunts that I like to do is the seagull clipper stunt. As the seagull flies over my head, I will try to jump higher than the seagull. And then, when people think that I'm not going to be able to jump over the seagull, I do a backflip over the seagull. And this is one of my favorite hills to slide down. It's too wet, but I go sliding down dunes and cliffs and hills. I can easily fall from high heights as long as there's a piece of land below me. You can basically say I roll and jump off cliffs for fun and for videos, but a little less crazy than it sounds. And my life is pretty chaotic. Here's some ice cold water. So now my body's hot and sweaty, but my feet are cold because that water's icy cold. See, I can play around with my body temperatures. Although I live in Florida, I often go to the mountains to get snow in my shorts and t-shirt. So despite me complaining, saying that the weather's not hot enough when it's 70 degrees, and me saying that I'm used to hot weather, I can still take cold weather for a little while. When I lived in London, Ohio, it would be 40 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'd be running in my shorts. But being in Florida so long and staying here without visiting London for a few whiles, well, now I'm just stuck in Florida weather. I can still go up to the mountains in shorts, but if I don't go quick, I could get sick afterwards. I like playing on the beach, and my favorite outdoor activity is probably either kayaking during the winter when it's a little cooler water in the Gulf of Mexico in early spring. And during the summer, I like going to the beach and doing cool things. Like this early winter, when the Gulf of Mexico is still warm, I would go down there and make cool videos of building rivers on the beach and stuff. Yeah, that was only like, a few weeks ago, a month? Seagull Creek drained this year, and this is one of my new channels, so when Seagull Creek was full last year, I didn't really have this channel to show you guys. But for the last few days, it's been back to normal. It's either really low or really high. But, yesterday it was good. Today it's too low again. But I like going to play at Seagull Creek, and I do a lot of videos here of collecting seashells from the shore. There are shells in Seagull Creek. That's a clam. I put that there in my last video, I think. You've seen it if you watched the whole thing. That there's a clam. And these little shells are mussels, like this here. That's called a zebra mussel. They're freshwater, saltwater, and brackish water. So Seagull Creek is freshwater on this side, and saltwater in the deeper pools, so salt sunk to the bottom a little bit, because it's more dense. And brackish water in the middle, all around. And so I don't have much brine water in Seagull Creek until it starts draining during low tide, and the animals dig deeper pools and then swim to the top, so if the salt water sinks into the deep holes they dig underwater, and they can swim up a little bit, so it's salty but not too salty. All water has salt in it. Even fresh water has some salt, but only a little. So brine water is extremely salty. Step down one and you just got regular salt water. Step down one, you got brackish water. It's a little salty, but it's not too salty like regular salt water. Step down another one and you got fresh water. Step down one more, and depending on where you get it and if it's a hot spring or not, you can get spring water, which doesn't have much salt as most fresh water. I know a lot about the nature and the ocean and beach and water salinities because I live here in Florida, a very diverse place where freshwater lakes and rivers meet the ocean. And there's even huge currents of warm freshwater going through cold saltwater ocean that form all kinds of strange places. I live on a barrier island, so this is the Gulf of Mexico. And on the other side of my island from where I am at is the St. Joseph Sound, a brackish body of water in between my island and the mainland. If you look up for maps of Sand Key, Florida, or what is a barrier island, you'll get an idea of it. I live on an island, but it's very close to the mainland, and it's just a long and thin island that runs parallel to the mainland shore, just off the shore about 4 to 5 miles. Sometimes I'll go kayaking in the St. Joseph Sound because there's fewer, smaller, or even no waves there a lot of times. The waves on the St. Joseph Sound don't get that big because these huge waves are coming from here in the Gulf of Mexico and open ocean, and they start to head towards my island. They break on our beach and don't keep going over it. So on the other side of our island from the waves, on the mainland facing side, is the body of water that separates us from mainland, St. Joseph Sound. And the only waves there either come through St. John's Pass, the Johns Pass, or Clearwater Pass, which is over by Clearwater Beach, Florida, by the way. And here on Sand Key, those are pretty far. I'm right in the middle of the island in Indian Rocks Beach, so I don't get big waves coming through there. So there's another type of wave you can get on the St. Joseph Sound that forms when wind blows, forming ripples on the water. And as the ripples travel and crash into each other, they make bigger ripples and keep doing it until they form into waves. But there's not enough of what experts call fetch for massive waves to be on the St. Joseph Sound. So when I want to go surfing or skimboarding, I usually go to the open ocean, like the Gulf of Mexico, for example. Well, that is all about me and things I like to do. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, please give it a like, share, a big thumbs up. And if you're new to me and my channel, and this is not your first rodeo, please be sure to subscribe. I don't care, you have to. But you don't have to watch my videos and come back. Just subscribe. I already have more subscribers than views, and that's a big problem that I'll have to face in the future when springtime comes. But for now, the lows are in the 50s and 60s. Florida is back to normal for winter, but it's still not normal. See ya, guys, and peace out.